Taveras here. You're listening to the DualShockers.com ShockCast. This week we actually have a special guest on. We have Mr. Danny Peña from Gamertag Radio.
Hey, DualShockers. All the listeners, what's up? Thanks for the invite, man.
No, dude, thank you so much. I mean, this has been a long time coming. I know we actually did this a while back.
Oh, that was years ago, right?
We've actually rebooted. So this is only episode 36. We've rebooted the ShockCast. We kind of we had to take a step back. You know, they say you got to take 2 steps back, 1 step forward. That's kind of like what happened here.
Yeah.
It's kind of what happened here. But we got a lot to catch up on because this is you've been a busy man.
Yeah, man, I've been really busy for the past few months. Actually, since last year, I've been really busy, man, with the podcast and like other side projects, especially the documentary that I'm in. So we're going to talk about that later on. But yeah, man, I've been everywhere, dude, everywhere. And then a couple weeks ago, we were at E3 too. That was like insane. We uploaded 50 episodes in total.
Yeah, that was a crazy week. I honestly, every single day I was following that week. I guess the shows were going up and I was driving to work, and you in Paris basically had me entertained, I have to say, on my drives to work every morning.
Oh yeah. With the podcast. That's awesome.
Yeah,
really cool.
It was great.
Really cool.
It was great. Yeah, no, I mean we'll jump into E3, but you know what's funny? One of the conversations that you guys had was in regards to I guess how packed the show was.
Yes.
And what was crazy is that weren't you guys there with the last time it was open to public?
Yes,
because Gamertag's been around a while.
Yeah. This was my 12th year going to E3. So I seen it when it was like really crazy. There was 1 year, I can't remember exactly what year it was. I think it was maybe 2006, No, it was 2006.
Had that been a minute ago?
They had like close to over 100,000 attendees that went that year. This year was, I think, 70-something thousand. So I seen it all. I seen it when it was like almost completely empty, 'cause when it was like very hard to get like invites to attend E3.
Right.
But
right.
Like this year, it was different because there was a lot of new people, and it was hard to get around because they were kind of lost. They didn't know what to do, where to go. It was very confusing. And then even the security was like telling us, no, you can't go here. This is not for media. And I'm like, no, I have an appointment. And they're letting everybody in that don't have a media badge. So the first day was like a disaster. But I think the second and third day, they figure out the things, their mistakes and everything from like the first day. And it was like a lot better. But yeah, that first day was a disaster though.
Yeah, dude, I was working it from home. I took the days off of work just to kind of like do the back end stuff. And me and you were kind of going back and forth and catching up. And honestly, I did not envy you one bit. It was like the first E3 that I was just like, I'm good. I'm good at my house right now.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And you did more at home, right? You did a lot more.
You know, we get so much more done at home, and that's what's really crazy about it. So, like, Giuseppe and Tyler, those are the two news guys. Those are the two guys, leading up on news on our site.
Yeah.
And I think G had churned out something like 150 posts in like a 48-hour span, like something insane like that.
Wow, that's crazy, insane.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, so it's like the content was crazy. But yeah, no, we. We had some boots on the ground there. We had 4 people there, and even they said that it was just nuts. And then you get to a booth, and everyone's telling you like, "Oh, they're running a couple minutes late. Please, please work with us." And yeah, man, I did not envy you, but considering all things considered, considered how packed it was. You know, it's funny too. I was listening to Paris's voice, and he just sounded drained.
Oh, we were dead tired. At the last day, we were already done. We were already so done, man. But I mean, we're like that every year. We're like all hype. Like the first few days, and then at the end, you could tell by the sound of our voices, like we're like completely tired, So
yeah,
and we don't party, man. Like we don't go to like parties. Like that's not our thing. We'll go to like maybe Michael Pactor's party. We went to another one this year.
Yeah.
The developers from Battlegrounds, they invited us to attend their party. We were there for like maybe like 30 minutes just to, so they could see us. Hey, we're here. We got to hang out for a bit, and then we bounced. But yeah, our focus is just getting content for the podcast and everything, man. So, but yeah.
Well, no, you guys did a hell of a job, I have to say. And,
thanks, man.
But again, it's not. This is something you guys have done for years. So, really quick. So, just I guess let the listeners know. You were in something pretty special, pretty unique with this this documentary. If you want to go into it.
Yeah. Last year, I was speaking at this conference. It's called Podfest. It's like this. It's a pretty good. A big conference that they have here in Florida and stuff. So, in Tampa. So I was one of the keynote speakers, and I think like 2 days before they had the event, they told me, "Hey, we're filming a documentary here with the speakers about their lives and podcasts and everything." We're like, "All right, cool." So we did like a little quick interview over there. It was like 30 minutes or so, maybe 40. Right. And they got so much content that they were like, "Man, we got to make an official documentary. Not like we have to go to their houses and like see how it is behind the scenes. How it is like for them to create like a podcast and everything." So they came down to Miami and they interviewed like my family, my dad, my fiance, and then I told them, "Hey, you want to go to E3? Come with me, man, and I'll show you how it is, like us behind the scenes working and everything, and plus maybe I could get." People that are part of the industry also talk about us, man. And they were like, "Man, we love this idea." So they also follow me in LA. And the documentary.
So you had him at E3 2016?
Yeah, 2016. Yeah, we had him over there. Yep, they were following me around with a camera and everything, man. So they got a lot of footage. Like they even mentioned to me, like, "Danny, we could create like a separate documentary because we had so much stuff recorded during E3 and also in Miami and everything." So. It's really cool, man. The documentary is dope because it's not only about me, but it's also about other podcasters. Why we do this. They and we talk about like our lives and the good things, the bad things, and why we love so much to podcast. So I'm very excited. Like we've already been doing like screenings everywhere. We had a couple in New York. Actually, no, one in New York. We had one in Miami. We're having another one in Atlanta next week, and I believe there's one also in West Palm Beach. Like we've been doing like different screenings everywhere, man. So I think in Philly too. That's another one that's coming up, and the big one is gonna be in Anaheim during this one of the biggest podcast conferences called Podcast Movement. Mm-hmm. Like NPR goes there. Serial. You heard of the Serial podcast? They were there. Of course. They were there. Mark Maron was a speaker there. Like it's a really big, huge conference. So they're having a screening there on August 22nd at Anaheim. It's going to be free to those that want to go. Just hit me up and I'll hook you up. And then we're going over there. I have to go there with Paris because we got nominated for like for the podcast awards. The Academy of Podcasters. Nice. Yeah. So. I'm excited for that. So every year when we go there, I always invite like my listeners from like different areas. Like so when I got inducted to the Hall of Fame, I took our listeners from Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
I took them red carpet. We were sitting like on the front row and everything, man. And I did that last year too in Chicago when we got nominated. So we're gonna do the same thing for this year too, man. So
Yeah. Do you get a gold jacket when you become a podcast Hall of Famer?
No, not a gold jacket, but they gave me an awesome trophy and stuff, man, for that. And I'm like the first Latino to get inducted, so that was like pretty special, man. Yeah, Dominicano, nice. What's up?
Nice.
So that's awesome, man. And right now this year they announced like the next group of inductees, and one of them is a close friend of mine. She's Latina too. Her name is Elsie Escobar. She's the one that handles. She's the community manager at Lipson. They're like a media podcast host.
Yeah.
So she's getting inducted too. So there you go. Now we got two Latinos up in there, man. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. Really, really cool. But I'm excited for the movie, man, because it's coming out next month on iTunes. So depends on the support that we get from people pre-ordering this or buying this or renting it through iTunes, we go on top of the charts in the documentary section, and that's probably going to get the attention from Netflix. So depending on the support, it will end up on Netflix too. It all depends on us.
Well, that's awesome. And I guess, and listeners, obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, you want to make sure and support that, right? Because that's you're going to see someone who's independent like us here at DualShockers. That you've been doing it way longer than us, man. You got us beat by like 5 years, I think. I'm not trying to show your age, but
Yeah.
it's funny. So I think we went up in 2009 officially.
Okay.
So I remember. Don't be embarrassed by this, Danny, but I remember the Gamertag Radio MySpace page.
Oh my God, that is so old school.
Yeah, I hope you have a screenshot of that.
I think I do. I have to check around. I think I do. That's the year where the time where we could customize the profile page and everything.
Yes, you definitely knew all of your HTML tags and codes and everything. And I think you had a music player on there.
Yes, it will play our podcast. I think I can't remember.
And it was very Miami, and it was great. And I don't remember it completely, but I just remember seeing it, like looking up gaming communities or whatever on MySpace and coming across Gamertag Radio. And
wow,
that was and I think that was. I want to say that was like right around Xbox 360 launch time. So we're talking.
Yeah. Yep. It was around that.
Back. That was
super old school. This is the time where when we originally started. This is when I used to record using the Halo 2 lobby.
Yes.
I'll invite like random people. Hey, come to my lobby. We'll record like a roundtable discussion. I'll put it on the podcast, and the quality was horrible. Oh my God, that was just. That's bad. Like now, it sounds a lot better, like Xbox Live compared to like back then. It sounds 10 times better now. But man, at that time it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Listen, everyone had to start somewhere.
Of course. Yeah, but we managed to do it. Managed to do it and came up with some great content at that time too, man. So
yeah,
very cool, very cool.
And that's awesome. But I definitely remember that. And it's funny, like watching. It's funny because you mentioned like the touring and like how different is that to be on the other side of it. Like usually we're going to these junkets, and we're the ones doing the coverage, and we're the ones like, how weird is that being on that side?
Man, it's tiring, dude. And the thing is, it's only us three. Like it's not. Well, actually, I'm the one doing the tour now with like promoting the movie and everything. I've been like going to different like places and stuff, and it's tiring, dude, because it's only us, man. That's it. Like when you go to these events, they have like a whole staff there,
Yeah.
So I'm honestly depending on people that I know. They might have contacts that I don't have. So I ask people, hey, do you know any local media from your area? It would be cool if I could go over there and just do multiple interviews during that week, while I'm there. So like recently I went to the Dominican Republic. I had a bunch of people over there that were helping me getting content, not content, interviews to promote not only Gamertag Radio, but also the movie. So, like I managed to be on this like really big media outlet. It's called Noticias SEN. They're like, when people compare it, it's like kind of like the Associated Press for Latin America, kind of like that.
Okay.
So they have like a huge following, and that's an international show too. Like they broadcast everywhere, So people in New York can see it, in other countries like Aruba and all that stuff, Mexico, everywhere. So they interviewed me, and I talked about like podcasts and video games, and that was a very cool experience, man. And that's what I do, man. Just been traveling like crazy, man. It's tiring. Not gonna lie, it's very, very tiring. But in the future, what we want to do too, we want to do like a podcast tour. So we're probably gonna go to like different cities and just do like maybe 1 or 2 podcasts live from that city. Yeah, but I'm gonna invite like all our listeners there, man. You know what I'm saying? So like I want to go to New York. We have like a venue over there that we could actually do it over there, and people could come and check it out. And hopefully also New York and other places too, man. So that's gonna be like maybe later this year. We're planning to do that, like later this year. But we got some cool ideas, really cool ideas.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Who do you listen to right now? Like when you're listening, because I'll tell you right now, my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're listening, but especially if you're into hip hop, the Joe Budden podcast.
Oh, Joe Budden. Oh yeah, Joe Budden. Yeah. You know, I like the Juan Espin. I like that. That was cool, but I think they stopped. And well, they're coming now. Stretch and Barbito, they're launching a hip hop podcast with NPR.
Okay.
That's launching very soon. I think this month or next month. That I can't wait for that. And I'm really good friends with like Nori and DJ EFN.
Oh, Drink Champs?
Drink Champs, yeah. I was the one actually that hooked them up with CBS. Like,
Get out of here.
Yeah. Cause I've been pushing it, like telling them, dude, you guys got some crazy stories. You got, a lot of people. For years, I've been telling them to do a podcast.
No, the best is when they get people just drunk on
their
show, telling crazy stories.
Yep. So I've been on their show. The thing is, I don't want to promote it to like our young listeners,
Right.
But it's fun. They're cool peeps, man. They're super cool with us, man. So, I listen to. You know what? I listen to a lot of like political podcasts. Believe it or not, a lot. So I listen to like Rachel Maddow, which is on MSNBC.
Yes.
Let me see. I listen to the Young Turks. That's a pretty cool podcast. What else, man? There's another podcast that's really cool that is from Miami. It's called Planted in Miami. These two are a couple. They are vegetarian, vegans actually.
Oh,
but
I get
they
Planted.
Planted in Miami, yeah. But at the same time, they promote local businesses from here, from Miami. So,
that's cool.
So when I was on, they were like, "Okay, Danny, so how you got planted in Miami?" And I'll be like, "Okay, this is," you know what I'm saying? So that was a pretty cool concept.
Right.
I like that a lot. And I listen to a lot of podcasts that has to do with like podcasting. So when there's like something new, like new things that's happening in the podcast industry, I like to listen to that stuff, man. Because that also will help me to come up with ideas and different ways to promote the podcast and stuff like that. So I listen to those stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, picking up what sounds good out there. It's sometimes a little borrowing here and there just makes your craft even better.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Big time.
There's nothing wrong with getting some good ideas and best practices out there.
Yep.
So one thing that I guess touching on the media tour really quick, we went on. Well, we discussed. You touched on Dominican Republic. How cool now. So for the listeners out there, myself, Yaris, Danny, and there's like a select other few people in the industry, I think.
Yeah, I could count that
were from Dominican Republic, like our families, rather.
Yep.
And so we have like a special secret bond. We have like a secret club we don't tell anybody about. But how cool is it though? Being out there and kind of like seeing that culture. And it's funny because I listened to the episode where you had mentioned that you had like a game spot out there when you lived out there for a couple of years. And,
yeah.
You'd rent out a room and
it wasn't
talk about that.
It wasn't a game spot. It was more like they call it over there a club. So what I used to do was I had like
an
a bunch
internet
of
cafe though, right? I mean,
similar to that. So I had a lot of Super Nintendos. I had a lot of games for Super Nintendo, also Sega Genesis. So I was telling my mom, like, Mom, I would like to, open a business. Because I always, since a little kid, I always wanted to have a business with video games. I just did, I was still trying to figure things out. Mm-hmm. So she was like, all right, you know what? Let's rent a place. We have TVs. Tell your friend to help you out and everything. And now I invested to see what happens. So, yeah, people used to come all the time. And, I was actually the first person in the Dominican Republic in the 90s. This is, the early 90s. To have
you're showing your age, Danny.
I know. It's all good. But it was something similar to that. People were, in shock. Wow, I've never seen that. So, at this time, there was no social media, no internet. A lot of people that were there, they started copying my idea, and they started taking those ideas to, different cities in Dominican Republic. So that was really, really cool. So when I went back now, the gaming scene over there is completely huge. Completely. They're into, the whole esports, tournaments. Now I also went to this gaming bar in Santo Domingo, which was really, really cool. So they have a section where you could go. They have the old school games and everything. And there's
one,
a
barcade.
Yeah, like a barcade, exactly like that.
Only serves Presidente and Brugal.
Yep, they have all that stuff. But they also had this VIP section. That's where you get to play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. I think they also have VR over there too and everything. So yeah, it's different, man. And that what I did, I wanted to record the gamers from people that I know from the local scene over there, because I was super curious, like how it is getting games over there, or buying consoles. Is the Switch popular? Like, what was like the thing over there? So a lot of people were telling me that PlayStation was like the big console over there that's like super popular. And over there, how they call it, they don't call it PlayStation. They call it Play 1, Play 2, Play 3, like that, Play 4. And yeah, it was cool. They also, I don't know if you listened to that part of the episode where they were telling me how they download games over there. So they have to create fake accounts so they can say that they're like American, they're from the U.S. Because if they say they're from the Dominican Republic, so if they say the Dominican Republic and they want to buy a game, some games won't allow them to download because of their region. So so if they put it as like,
but is it like a censoring thing?
I don't know what it is. Because I thought it was like maybe the government or maybe the region, like, but no, there was certain games they can't download over there. So I think it was. Let's make believe it's Call of Duty. You want to download Call of Duty, they can't download it digitally if they put Dominican Republic. So I was like, man, that's kind of sucks. You actually pay for this and it just doesn't go through, So if they put it as I'm an American or European or Japanese, they could easily purchase this game with no problem.
That's interesting.
And it's like that too with PSN. I think that it's even worse with PlayStation games digitally. So for them, it's easier to buy. Just go to the store and buy the physical game.
Right.
But some people just don't want to go to the store. They just want to leave it downloaded overnight because the internet over there is not like this. It's not the greatest. So
right. No, I know.
But they still manage to play, and then there's always a way for them to play the game, man. Games, que diga, so
yeah. I would imagine it has to do with probably with like terms of use and EA, ELUA and all that stuff. It has to do something with that, because when you like buy something digitally, when you read the fine print, I've never read the fine print. I'm going on what read on Reddit.
Yeah.
But like apparently, there's terms and agreements in there that say like, hey, you own what you purchased was the rights to play this game. You don't actually own this game.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something just doesn't translate, and they're just like, hey, listen, you can't do digital here, this is why.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, that's all I can really think of.
But see, it's crazy because I went there like, oh man, everybody's buying games, it's super easy. Nah, man, it's a struggle for them, man. A struggle. And the thing is too, when they buy a system,
I was gonna say third world problems, but.
Yeah, third world. No, but it's crazy when they buy like a new system. Like I interviewed this YouTuber, it's like a really popular YouTuber in the Dominican Republic. But he's popular not because of the island. He's popular because of the other Latin countries that are also checking his YouTube channel and everything. So, but he was telling me that he bought the Xbox One, the original Xbox One. It was what 500
with the Kinect.
Oh, well, there was like $700 with the whole taxes and all that stuff. Yeah, man. So it's a mission. It's a mission for them.
That's rough.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Yeah,
700 is not easy to come by over there.
No. The only way they could pull this off if they buy the game and somebody opens it and send it like if it was already used,
Right.
So they don't. Gift. Yeah, so they don't have to pay the taxes. But if they have like the whole box and everything, it's like, wait a minute, this is brand new. You just bought it, like, yeah.
You're gonna pay that tax, buddy.
Yeah. But it's good I did that because. A lot of our listeners here in the States, people are here. I'm not gonna. Let's be straight up, man. We're kind of spoiled, so we already know everything
about. Things for granted.
Yeah, exactly. So by me doing this, going to Dominican Republic and recording this like little roundtable and everything, it will open the eyes, man, for us, man. Like now we have like, damn, okay, now we know how it is gaming over there and gaming in other countries. Because there's even listeners that hit us up from the Philippines. Saying like, dude, Danny, we're going through the same exact thing, man. Thank you so much for doing that, man. So wow. So if there's any way for us to like help out the gaming community, that'd be cool, man. Come up with ideas and let's help them, man. Because it's easier for us, but it's like a challenge for other people out there, man. So
that's crazy, and it's just something you just wouldn't think of.
Exactly. And one more thing too, I also had an aspired gaming developer on our show. She's dying to go to school for that and everything, but they don't have the resources over there, man, at all. So, what I'm trying to do, like, that's like my goal right now is to figure out something for me to go over there and have like events so they could feel like, man, there's people out there that are helping us out, you know, because right now they're learning how to make a game and all that stuff through the internet. They go to different websites, they go to YouTube. That's how they learn. They don't, there's no schools for that. There's no conferences. Crazy. Yeah, man. So that's my goal, man, to start doing events over there.
Find out if NYU Game Center has a foreign exchange program. Is it?
Right. That'll be awesome. That'll be cool, man. I mean, I've been talking to some people that they're like they're willing to go with me to the Dominican Republic to do stuff for free, like, you know, for like a weekend or a couple of days, whatever, just to help out and give back, you know. So that's my goal right now, man. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, let me know if there's anything we can do to help out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely will hit you up. And but one last thing. This is one thing that I did because I wanted to surprise one of my friends that he lives over there. He's a huge Xbox fan. Huge Xbox fan. So I hit up Aaron Greenberg. I was like, man, you know, from Xbox. I was like, hey, Aaron, you know.
I saw this. I think I saw this on Twitter.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, Aaron, I have a friend of mine here that he doesn't know yet that I want to do this, but if it's okay for you to send like a video shout out of him, because, you know, just saying, hey, what's up, you know. The reason why I want to do that is because, you know, he's a fan, but he feels like the island, like the gamers over there, they've been getting ignored because of the whole, you know, they're not from the States and everything. So Aaron Greenberg and his team sent me 2 videos, one in English and one in Spanish, from Spain, all the way from Spain. So it was like the Xbox team from over there from Spain and him.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were like eating dinner and everybody was like, hey, Alejandro, what's up? Like saying hi to him. So when I sent it to him, dude, he said like he almost cried, man. Like he was like, man, it's like the first time, you know, somebody from that level says what's up to us, you know, to me too. So it's super, he got super excited and hyped, man. So that was cool. I felt really good doing that, man. Really cool.
That's awesome, man. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I can only imagine the reaction that got over there.
Oh, you know, he showed that to his friends. They were like, man, are you sure that's for you? Like a lot of people didn't believe it too.
Like, that's not you. You're not that Alejandro. That's
exactly. Right. Yeah,
that's
man.
Funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, listen. So that's perfect. Speaking of our buddy Aaron.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. We got some hardware coming up. We got some hardware coming up. We got some exciting stuff.
Yeah.
I think they had a great show. I think after watching that press conference, were you sitting there in the audience? I know you don't miss that.
Yeah, I'm always there. Yeah, I'm always there. Yeah, I was there, and I feel good about it. I think it was a pretty good conference, and the reason why I like that press conference a lot more than any other ones out there, not because of the quality of the games or all that. It was more about like it was very diverse. There was something for everyone. You know, like I love that it was not only diverse with the type of games, but also developers from all around the world that were part of that. Also that press conference, you know, promoting their games in there too. So they had like the independent games, they had like the, you know, the AAA and all that stuff. But I like that a lot, man. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think the key thing, the key takeaway from watching that was just, and you know, we talked about it, like we had like a mini like editor versus editor podcast as soon as the press conference ended. I was like, oh, we got to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the fact that I think, like, you know, not to talk this whole winners and losers thing of E3, but I think the thing that, you know, if anybody won from that press conference, I think it was existing Xbox owners.
Yeah. I agree.
Forget the One X. You know, I'm not saying forget the One X, but you know what I mean. Like if you had a One S or you had the OG, you know, Xbox One from launch, you have like a lot of stuff to play now, and you should be really happy for that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you didn't, but I think that there was definitely some kind of catch up going on, I have to say. You know, in terms of exclusivity and getting those launch console exclusives out and all that stuff out. I think that was huge for them.
Yeah.
You know,
and then ended with Anthem, the big one for hopefully for next year, which, you know, a lot of people complain that they didn't get that, you know, a lot of exclusive content for the Xbox One when Destiny came out, because it was all, you know, PlayStation was getting everything first. So at least with Anthem, maybe I hope with this marketing deal, it probably will be something similar to that, you know. And let me tell you, it was very impressive too, man. I was like, what? This is similar to Destiny? Holy crap, that game looks awesome. So we'll see. We'll see.
I can imagine what that looked like on that 4K display that they had at the event, because that, watching it at home, that looked great.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, I mean, did they make me say, you know what, I got to go spend $500? Nah, not me.
But that's a lot of people did like now. Well, okay, like for example, I don't have a 4K TV, so yeah, I wanted to buy an Xbox One X because originally the reason why is because they announced that this is going to support VR, and I was like, man, that's cool, man. I don't have a PC. This will be a great opportunity for me to try out, Oculus or Vive, whatever. Like I could test it out on my Xbox One X. I don't have a 4K TV, so I'm kind of like, I don't know. But they also didn't even talk about the whole VR thing at this press conference. So I'm kind of like, did they removed it or what? So when I sat down with Albert Pinello, I asked him like, hey, why was it Albert or Aaron? No, it was Albert. Asking him why there was no mention about VR, and they said like this is not the right time. Maybe next year they're gonna start doing that. So I was like, all right, so we'll see. But yeah, you're right, man. $499, dude, for that. Now here's my prediction though, because for those that haven't listened to our interview that we had with Albert Pinello, there's a couple of things that I noticed with him. My God.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sorry, man. My mic doesn't pick it up, so trust me, my mic is really good with this. So when I interviewed Albert Pinello, we talked about pre-orders and everything, and he said, quote unquote, they're planning to have like some announcement for like they have some fun things to announce, right? So when I also checked out, I think it was on IGN, Albert Pinello was there too, and he said something about a program that they're planning to announce. I think they're probably right now, a lot of people complain like, oh, it's $499, it's too expensive. I think they're gonna have a program where you could pre-order and exchange your One S, and you will pay a cheaper price. So maybe for maybe $299 or $250 or something like that.
Right.
Have it for cheap. So at least they have those that can afford the Xbox One X. They trade it, they'll pay it for a cheaper price. So that's what I think they're planning to announce later this year, maybe like in August, September, around there.
The one thing I gotta say, the one thing I was surprised, and then I won't beat it like to death right now, but yeah. I was just surprised that they have these 6 first-party titles, and these first party titles, when we're talking about Gears 4, we're talking about Forza, we're talking about I forgot what the other ones were, but they're gonna get the Xbox One X update, right? To like up them, to make them 4K. Why didn't they pack those in? That's what's just like, come on, Microsoft. You could have given us thrown me a game, throw me a copy of Forza. You know what I mean? Like, throw me a digital code for something. And I guess that was like an opportunity. But like you said, we still got holiday. They still have time to bring programs up. It's not even on pre-order yet.
Yeah. And I think that's why they haven't on. Of course, it's because of the whole FCC part of it too. Right. But I think this is the main reason, because by them saying $499, they're gonna wait to see what Sony is gonna do for the holidays. They could also do something like that and announce like, hey, exchange Xbox One S, you get this. So
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting Q4, to say the least.
Oh yeah, very interesting. Yeah, I think Sony's gonna drop their PlayStation 4 Pro for like maybe $349 or something for the holidays. Temporary price, I think.
Maybe they might not have to right now.
I mean, they're still selling. I mean, they're selling more slim versions than the Pro, actually. So it's the same thing with Xbox when they release Xbox One S, One X. God, I gotta get used to that. I think that the smaller version is gonna sell more than the 4K version. So
I'm sure it will. I think so.
Yeah.
And I guess since we're talking about Q4 there, let's just talk about right now. We're in the beginning of July. We just had July 4th. That means the first half of 2017 is right behind us. You play a lot of video games right now.
Oh, of course.
I'm trying to play a lot of video games right now, so I'm catching up. I got some backlog stuff to do.
Okay.
What's right now? If you had to pick your game of the year, first half, what would it be?
Oh my God, that's a couple, man. You know what? I think I gotta give it to Nintendo with Legend of Zelda, man. It's a very hard game on the Switch. I know it's available for the Wii U too. But they created something totally like fun and I love the story and graphically it's not no 4K or anything like that. But I have to put it up there, man. Zelda, new Zelda for Nintendo Switch and Wii U.
Yep.
Also, I haven't played it, but based on the opinions that everybody's telling me, Horizon's supposed to also be up there too, man. Horizon for the PlayStation, and I really, really enjoy. I really enjoy Ghost Recon Wildlands. I play that game a lot. I think it's not perfect, but it's a lot of fun, man. Playing co-op with other people, man. A lot of fun, man. So,
it's funny. I'm gonna be super boring because I'm actually picking. Minus Wildlands, those same exact two games.
Okay, so we're close. We're close.
We are literally just because I haven't played Wildlands, but
yeah.
So with Breath of the Wild, it was the first game that I played beginning to end with my son, which was like for the first time, like that he had like. He's only 4.5, but he paid attention the entire way, and it was awesome. We put like 80 hours into that game.
Look at that! So look at that! 80 hours. That's a lot.
It was ridiculous. So he couldn't manipulate it with his hands. His hands were like a little too small, like for the shoulder buttons and stuff like that. Like he can navigate Link, but once things get challenging, he has to like hand over the controller.
Yeah.
But that game was amazing. But it's funny that you mentioned Horizon.
Yeah.
Because I'm about 20 or so, maybe like 25 hours into that game. That game is ridiculous.
Oof. Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody because, it's funny. It's like going into it. Guerrilla Games is not known for role-playing games. They're known for Killzone, right? And Killzone was, even that was kind of very middle-of-the-road kind of game. It was never like, it never became the Call of Duty killer it was supposed to be, right? So I'm not knocking that team at Guerrilla by any means, but, I was skeptical, but this game is so good. It's really, really one of the best games I've played, and what it is. I think I went into it with. You remember when Halo 4 dropped, and it was the first time that 343 Industries was making a Halo game, and everybody was kind of shook.
Yep.
That's kind of how I went into this.
Oh, okay. So you weren't like 100% like okay.
No.
Okay.
And you know what? Halo 4 was amazing.
Here's a couple surprises that I think shocked me so far this year. I think For Honor is pretty up there. It came out. I think it came out like around February, around there. Awesome game, a lot of fun. ARMS, it just recently came out for the Nintendo Switch. I was very surprised. I thought that game was gonna be trash, but I've been playing it nonstop, man, nonstop for the Switch, man. So, I love those type of games, especially new IPs that nobody is like. It's not on the radar yet, but
you're not expecting it.
Not expecting it, and then once you get it, you're like, oh my God, this is pretty fun, man. So I like that. And I forgot to mention one game that I love that came out early this year. I believe it came out in January. Resident Evil 7. I totally forgot about that game. I just thought about it right now. That game, wow, I freaking love that game. Love it.
Did
it.
You play it in VR?
No, not with VR. I played it just regular, no VR.
Oh. I was like, I can't do it.
Because people say this, like the VR version is not like on point. It's not the greatest. But actually playing the game without VR, just normal like that, I have it on my Xbox One. It's a lot of fun, dude. A lot of fun. Love it. And let me tell you, it was pretty tough because I was trying to figure out like what to do at first. But once you get the hang of it, you're straight. You're good. You're good, man. So highly recommend it. Download Resident Evil 7 for sure.
Nice. I will definitely have to. I just saw some of the VR stuff and I was just like, nope.
Nope, I'm good. I'm good. Now, I downloaded this game. I know it came out for the PlayStation VR last year. Thumper. Have you played that game, Thumper?
I have not, but I've seen it.
It's really addicting, man. Like right now, I'm like maybe like 3 levels left for me to finish the whole game. but it's very, very addicting. It's kind of like a music game, but it's also a action kind of game. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a lot of fun. Love the soundtrack. Very addicting too, man. So I've been playing that a lot on my Switch, my Nintendo Switch. You notice I mentioned a lot on Nintendo Switch, right?
Hey, dude, they're really killing it.
Yeah,
they really are. They really are.
The thing is too, I've been traveling a lot, so I've been playing a lot of those games on the go. So that's why. For me.
Yeah, that's another reason why it's killing it. Like,
Yeah.
you can't really beat that. And it's funny, not to go on to that whole thing, but even I think it was Pactor that said, he's like, listen, I don't know anybody that puts that thing on the dock, even though I do. It's really fun.
I looked at him like, really? I do this all the time, but I stay quiet.
But apparently we're like the weirdos. Nobody docks that thing.
Yeah, I think
that's legit.
I think Nintendo has a hit right here, man. The only thing is for them to have more units out there, man, because last month the MPD numbers came out, and PlayStation was like, I think, sold more. I think it was Nintendo second, and then Xbox was third. But I think if they had more units in stores, they would have been number one again, man. Because of that,
I think this holiday no one beats them.
That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be. Let me tell you, man. Like, I know Xbox. They're making their money and everything, but man, this Switch is gonna sell, man. It's gonna sell. I think it's gonna beat Sony and Xbox all throughout the year, man. Especially the holidays with Mario Odyssey. Because you got to play that game, right? I think they were on tour, right?
I just saw it last week.
Dude, tell me that game is legit. That game is legit, dude.
Yep.
It's gonna.
They're gonna move units.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Q4 is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, big time.
So I can't wait to see it.
Big time. Big time.
And let me see. I think with that, we're basically getting to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
All right.
We're keeping it short and sweet.
Awesome.
We got to talk some Messengers podcast documentaries, some media tours, some DR.
Yeah, some DualShockers, MySpace.
Some DualShockers. Yes, some MySpace page, some Xbox One X, and we talked about our game of the year for the first half of 2017. Danny, as always, man, thank you. I'm hoping I see you in New York City this summer. I know hopefully you'll be up here promoting.
Oh yeah, definitely,
the iTunes release.
Yeah, but we definitely gotta hang out. We always see each other like it's like always a hi and bye, but we gotta sit down and talk some stuff, man.
Yes, always a pleasure, guys. Everyone, thank you for listening. This is the ShockCast episode 36, and we have Danny Peña from Gamertag Radio. Danny, let them know where they can follow you at.
Yeah, go to Twitter, Godfrey, or just look up Gamertag Radio everywhere. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio. We're everywhere.
MySpace.
So just look MySpace too. No, just look up search Gamertag Radio. You'll find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and everything, man. So yeah, definitely.
All right, everybody, thank you for listening, and we're out.
Peace.